Climate determines the water cycle so necessary to life. Water rises into the air thanks to condensation and fills the air with moisture. Transported in large clouds, it returns to Earth in the form of rain, or can be transformed into mists and dew, ice and snow. Precipitation finds its way into the streams, rivers and lakes, and thus back to the oceans. The cycle is closed. The path of life-giving waters begins anew. Or does it? Are our waters life-giving? More and more people are beginning to realize that the rise in consumption of energy, increasing industrialization, unabated climb in the world population, all have led to the contamination of our life-giving waters, and the results are catastrophic for ourselves and the inhabitants of our waters. Sewage and industrial wastewater play a major role in the pollution of our streams, rivers and lakes, and present designs and technologies for treating those pollutants have served their purpose, but are now becoming obsolete, due in the main to capital investment, operational expenditures, and the extent of ground area required. With this brief video, we are pleased to introduce the ultimate solution, the multi-reactor system, the advanced biological replacement for the outdated conventional methods, a system which has been invented, developed, field-tested, internationally patented, and which is in commercial operation by many users in the Netherlands, and which is now available to the world. For the purpose of this introduction, we have selected just one example of the many multi-reactor installations in successful operation in the Netherlands. The installations are two of the factories of the Compaxo company, Holland's largest concern in the field of pig slaughtering and meat processing. The company's first installation was at their meat processing factory, where the effluent originates mainly from four sources: cooking of sausages, conserving, smoking and boiler units, and cleaning. Due to the cleaning operations, the composition of the effluent varies a great deal, often containing disinfectants and a high salt content as a result of emptying the brine basins. From various locations throughout the factory, untreated effluent is pumped through a central pipe on the roof to a small corner of the parking lot where the multi-reactor is installed. Small because, in fact, the entire installation is confined within an area of only 15 by 15 meters. Effluent is passed over a screen which separates any coarse particles and then directs the liquid waste to the storage tank, from where it is pumped to the multi-reactor shaft, where it is mixed with the sludge that has been recycled from the system. Some of the main disadvantages of conventional sewage and wastewater treatment plants is that they require very considerable areas of ground space for the final settlers. It is impossible to intervene in the sedimentation process, and due to the bad odors resulting, it is necessary to cover the installation with a fixed roof at considerable cost. Such disadvantages are totally overcome with the multi-reactor system, a system which separates the sludge and the water by means of flotation instead of sedimentation, and by building the aeration chamber underground in the form of a deep shaft, directly under the flotation unit. The depth of shaft can vary, usually up to 60 meters. The deeper the shaft, the greater the population equivalent that the system can service. Descending toward the bottom of the shaft, the effluent sludge mixes with air being injected under pressure at the bottom of the shaft, where the purification process really commences. As opposed to sedimentation, flotation is an active process, and the multi-reactor flotation process requires very little energy as a result of the required volume of air bubbles being released from the water in the aeration shaft. Mixed water and sludge rises in the riser pipe in the center of the shaft to the flotation unit and adheres to the existing microscopic air bubbles. Beneath the flotation unit, a secondary airstream is injected via the flotation generator, which assists in increasing the process, and the floating layer of sludge is kept constantly skimmed. Purified water is extracted from the bottom of the unit, and in the case of Campaxo's meat processing factory, is discharged into the nearby river. At their other factory, it is discharged into the town's sewage system. The sludge collector, from where a percentage is recycled back to the flotation unit. And the remainder is pumped to a sludge thickener tank where it is left for a while to thicken, prior to collection by the local farmer for agricultural use. The entire multi-reactor process is fully automated, requiring practically no supervision and very little maintenance. The complete operation being controlled by the equipment in the operations cabin. The operations cabin is delivered to site fully equipped with compressors, flotation generator, pumps, electrics, and computer, etc., which only requires connection to the remainder of the system. Via the computer, all functions can be controlled and adjusted, even via a telephone at any distance from the actual installation, day or night. Essential components such as pumps, compressors, etc. are duplicated in the operations cabin, and therefore, in the unlikely event of a breakdown, can be immediately switched to reserve operation via the telephone and computer. All connections and piping are connected to the operations cabin, making it possible to take samples of influent and treated effluent whenever desired. During the years prior to Campaxo's first multi-reactor installation going into service, the company's wastewater was discharged into the adjacent river via a total of 12 pipes, and a very heavy service charge was made by the local authority. Since installation, only purified water is discharged into the river via a single pipe. The service charge has been eliminated, and their investment was recovered in less than 2 years. The capacity range of the multi-reactor system may vary from a few thousand population equivalents up to many hundreds of thousands, and can provide treatment for most kinds of effluent originating from a variety of sources. Apartment blocks, housing developments, hotels, and many more applications. The electric motor mounted externally at the top of the flotation unit to drive the skimmer is the only moving part of the system. There is nothing underground that could be subject to wear and tear, therefore reducing maintenance and service to near zero. The multi-reactor system is never affected by adverse weather conditions. It will always continue the treatment process even at temperatures as low as -25 degrees centigrade to 40 degrees centigrade. And the blue canvas type covers only serve the purpose of preventing rainwater entering the system and upsetting the flotation process. Even the generated discharge of hot air is usable, the Campaxo company using it to heat their vehicle maintenance areas. Local municipalities have learnt that no one wants a sewage treatment plant in their backyard, and the reasons for rejecting applications are many and varied. Communities cannot be reassured that there will be no unpleasant odors. Area of land required is extensive and costly. Operating costs are expensive, and so on, forcing authorities to locate the plant at some isolated spot, distant from the community, but at the additional heavy cost of extensive piping. With the multi-reactor system, all such possible objections cannot apply, greatly simplifying the granting of permits, even where environmental effects on populated areas are critical. The multi-reactor system guarantees no less than 90% total water purification, but experience over many years has proven that much higher purification is the standard results with all installations to date. In the case of Compaxo, 90% purification has been far exceeded, despite an increase of more than 25% in the production facility since Multireactor was first installed. As the happy president of Compaxo Limited, Mr. Van der Post Jr. would gladly confirm. Subterranean installation, substantial ground area savings, no landscape disturbance, no emission of noise and odors at any time, high degree of purification, sludge separation by flotation and no sludge treatment required, flexible and reliable operation, fully automatic, short lead time, practically no supervision or maintenance, low capital investment and a short payback period are just a few of the obvious advantages for installing the multi-reactor system. We look forward to the opportunity of further elaboration and explanation as to how the multi-reactor system can best serve your particular needs, and in doing so, play a major role toward your contribution to preserving our life-giving waters for generations to come.